Hi guys, Dr. Ram here. I want to share with you some powerful ideas I just heard from a podcast interview between Dr. Mark Hyman and Emily Fletcher on the power of meditation. She starts out with an interesting point that the world is filled with ex-meditators. So why is it that so many people quit meditating? Because traditionally we're told that we need to sit down and clear our heads. But she says something really interesting that I really liked, and that the mind produces thoughts involuntarily, just like the heart produces beats involuntarily. So telling your mind to stop thinking will be like telling your heart to stop beating. But Ziva Meditation approaches things slightly different in that it induces a deeply restful sleep. And what they say in the podcast is that it's up to 5 times more restful than sleep is. And what that allows us to do is that it releases the backlog of stress that, as they say in the podcast, makes us all stupid, sick, and slow. The other interesting point that she brings up in the podcast is the I'll be happy when syndrome. I'll be happy when I have a kid. I'll be happy when my kid finally takes a nap. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I finally get a divorce. Happiness becomes a carrot that seems to get further and further away. And this is just really a sad way to live. That is until we can realize that fulfillment can be found internally and that you can access that fulfillment and happiness at any time. In other words, we transition from acting for fulfillment to acting out of fulfillment. So how does meditation achieve this? It gives us the tool so if done properly, within 30 to 45 seconds, our body releases powerful hormones of dopamine and serotonin, and we feel pretty good. And we shift from seeking happiness externally to seeking it internally without the need of anything external. So as Dr. Mark Hyman says, that I'm so busy that I don't have the time not to meditate. He considers it like his mental car wash that he does twice a day. So how does meditation work from a biological perspective? We naturally, from an evolutionary standpoint, we have a natural stress hormone response. And if we think about it from the perspective of like 50,000 years ago, like we're walking through the jungle and a tiger is rustling in the woods, in the brush, right? Our body has this mechanism that releases cortisol, and this is our stress hormone. And what that does, it releases a lot of different chemical consequences in our body. Blood gets shunted away from our digestion. Acid floods to our skin so that if the tiger actually gets a hold of us, we don't taste so good. Our blood clots, so if the tiger bites us, we don't bleed out. Our bladders and our bowels evacuate so that we're light on our feet. It dampens our immune system. Our blood gets shunted away from our reproductive organs, and it reduces our fertility and virility. This primes our body so that all hands are on deck to run from the situation. Now, being stressed or having the stress response isn't a bad thing. It's natural. But staying in the stress response is terrible for us, for our bodies. So that is why meditation is medicine. It creates a healing process in our body. Meditation reduces the stress hormones of adrenaline and cortisol. It also increases our well-being hormones of serotonin and dopamine. As a result of dialing back our automatic stress response, meditation improves our immune system. It lengthens our telomeres, which literally reverses the aging process. It improves our cardiac functions. It improves fertility and our sex lives. And it strengthens our corpus callosum, which is that strip between our right brain and our left brain, which allows you to come up with creative solutions very quickly. The other important distinction they make in the podcast is the difference between responding and reacting. So they ask an interesting question, is that why is it that we don't act in alignment with what we know to be in accordance to our best selves? Like, for example, we know we shouldn't eat that candy bar, or we know we shouldn't stay up late binging on Netflix, but yet we find ourselves doing those things anyway. So we act in accordance to the way our nervous system is primed, according to Emily Fletcher. Again, we act in accordance to the way our nervous systems are primed. So if our nervous systems are primed for stress, we tend to react and not act intelligently and in accordance to what we know to be our best selves. But if our nervous systems are primed to be stress-free, or the parasympathetic or rest and digest system, then we can think and pause and respond to a situation intelligently. So they had an interesting factoid in the podcast. It referenced Aetna, which is a company of tens of thousands of employees, and they have implemented a mindfulness meditation training. And according to internal studies, they say that it saves them $3,000 per employee per year. Additionally, it adds 3 hours of productivity per employee per week. Now just imagine the power that meditation practice can have on you. That's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. For daily health and wellness tips, follow me on Instagram at drram.pharm.D. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.